Welcome to another episode of Reece's Reviews from mygeekculture.com.au. My name is Matt, and joining me on this podcast today is Reece. I watch a lot of movies, Cashel, and this is what this whole podcast is about, reviewing movies or TV shows or just awesome news in the entertainment world, isn't it, Reece?
Yeah, pretty much all things pop culture, entertainment, anything that we love, music, TV, movies, theatre, everything in between. We just love everything about it, and we love bringing it to our audience. So,
and we try to review the shit
hell yeah,
out of it.
man, no filter in this one.
Yeah, and now we will get straight into what we've got coming up, other than just our regular entertainment honourable mentions, and we've got a couple of reviews as well.
This one's going to be a jam-packed episode, everyone, so keep your ears tuned in for this one. So we're going to start off with our brand new topic that we brought up a couple of weeks ago called Off the Top.
All right, I got the theme. And all because Stuart, old mate Stuart, said that it was a good idea when I improv'd it, so I'm going to do it live again. Off the top, off the top. That name again is off the top. There we go. That is the theme.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So
bring it, Reece.
I thought there's a couple of things.
Oh, hold on. You're off mic.
I thought just off the top would be a show that I thought that I actually grown to love and it's given me a passion of wanting to go to where the series is filmed, and that is a series on Disney Plus called Welcome to Wrexham, which is the Ryan Reynolds and Rob Mack's football team in Wales, Wrexham, and it's been reviewed. It's pretty much been renewed for another 3 seasons. Not just one, not 2, but 3. So we've got a new season coming out this year by the looks of it, and it's already been renewed for another 3. So you can just see the popularity for this. I love this show, this documentary series. It's such fantastic, and they bring out. It's so inspiring every year that I love it, and it's just good enjoyment to watch. So I thought it was a good story that we should cover. Have you heard much about Welcome to Wrexham?
Oh, I'm aware of it because I am a Ryan Reynolds fan. But when it comes to this whole show, I am not a fan of soccer / football. But yeah, it is. I skim across it, so I keep across it. It's and I just think, it's Ryan Reynolds and Rob Mack, and him being from who created Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah. So you got 2 rich bastards buying
and I think that's the thing about it is
team. And then and because of them, they won the grand final.
Yeah, they keep on getting promoted. So even if you're not into football, it's an inspiring tale to watch. That the fact that they've taken this team that wasn't doing very highly everywhere in the bottom of the comps that they were in, and they've done 3 years in a row. They were able to be promoted to the next level of the leagues. It's absolutely inspiring. So even if you're not into football, it's a great show to watch because it's inspiring. It makes you care about the town of Wrexham and the locals there, and the families of the players, and not just the male football team of Wrexham, but also the female team there. It's such a great show to watch. So if anyone's interested in having a bit of a different pace of normal drama, I would say give Welcome to Wrexham a go. So that's first off the top I kind of thought was a good one. Another one I thought is pretty much promoting our local boy, that is Chris Hemsworth. He's officially signed a deal that Extraction 3, the Netflix movie series, is coming.
A third one.
It is coming. It is Chris Hemsworth closes a deal to return for Extraction 3, the third film in the hit Netflix and HBO action film franchise. Insiders and add that Sam Hargrave is back to direct, with Idris Elba and Golseth Farhani are also back on board as well. So I know these films aren't Oscar-worthy films. There's no kind of strong narrative to the story. It's literally a very, very basic story about needing to get extraction, getting it into a place and having to get out. And what makes this series work is the sheer amazing of the practical action, how it's all shot. If you have not seen these, have you seen these 2 films, the 1 and 2?
No, I haven't. I actually went to watch the first one and it didn't really catch my eye. But I was watching it with someone at the time who I wanted to keep watching it, but she
Okay.
wanted to go
Well,
and say no more.
I love the
And
films
then
because yes, there is no story to them. It's pretty much what the title is.
just
It is
action.
what it is. But it is this pure grunt, gritty action, and Chris Hemsworth does it brilliantly. There, the fight choreography, the action, the one shots that they did in the first one, they excelled it with the second one. I even
Mm,
yeah, I love some people who don't like these films because there literally is no story. It's literally just a orgasm. It's
shoot
pretty much
them
an
up.
orgasm of action on screen. And I loved it. I was like, sometimes you just need to have a movie that turns your brain off. And it's pure
Yeah,
action.
fair
And
enough.
Extraction is that. So I mean, I'm pumped to get into Extraction and have a return to Tyler Rake and what Chris Hemsworth can bring us. So that's that one as well. And last one, I just thought I'll point out is that we've just talking a couple of weeks ago about the Hunt for Gollum that is coming. It has been confirmed in Variety that Viggo Mortensen's Aragorn is going to be recast. We're not going to get Viggo. He's a bit
Okay.
old to reprise the role of Aragorn, especially where it's set. So they pretty much said that they're going to hunt. They're going to be Andy Serkis has confirmed that they are going to be looking for something else, and they're on their way to finding someone. So even though yes, Aragorn, Viggo Mortensen is always going to be our Aragorn, we understand that it is a new generation that's going to be introduced to these characters with this prequel kind of story, and so it is a new, fresh, a breath of fresh air for the character that's needed to bring with a younger actor to bring it to life. So, what's your thoughts about them having to recast Aragorn for the prequel Hunt for Gollum?
Well, that's a lot of the things when they decide to do sequels, prequels, or whatever, and but so much of the time has passed. Yeah, I think recasting is a good idea
Yeah,
because he's way past his age, and there's only so much. Like they could cast him, and then they do all the de aging stuff, but
yeah,
then that will increase the cost, and then people will bag out the de
yeah,
aging,
yeah.
and so it's like just
Yeah,
recast. It'd be
I think so
easier.
too. I think yeah, it'd be. Everyone was saying, "Oh, no, bring him back," and went, "Yes, but okay." They brought back Ian, but yeah, but Ian McKellen is playing Gandalf the Grey. Like he looks old. Like he can still play that character,
It, mate,
and
it's kind of like what's his name out of Star Wars, where I've forgotten his name. Emperor Palpatine.
Ian McDowell.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I knew his name was Ian, but he has aged with the
Yeah,
character. So he's basically gone in reverse, where they caked him with makeup, and then as they brought him back, it's
let's
like,
make
well,
up.
you kind of the right
Yeah.
look. So
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, so I'm not too disappointed with the fact that we're not going to see Vigo again. We've got him in the trilogy. He was all his place in the universe of Lord of the Rings and Tolkien's always going to be he's going to be there. So seeing a new actor come into the role and give them their new take on it and their fresh interpretation is going to be good. So I thought that was a kind of good to point.
cool.
Before I go
So
into Entertainment Honourable Mentions, I just want to point out that just popped in my head. I went to a concert on the weekend.
okay, look
Yeah,
at
so I
you
went to
partying.
the Big Rock Tour at Kudos Bank Arena on the weekend on Friday night, and this was the show. It was headlined by A Day to Remember, supported by a Papa Roach and Landmarks. Now, am I right to assume have you heard any of three of those bands?
I've heard of him. Doesn't necessarily mean I like
Okay,
him.
it is heavy metal band, so I just thought I gave my quick review on it. I love the show. The show was brilliant. Papa Roach has not lost its beat after almost 20 years. They came out in 1998 or 1999, and they are still going strong. They've got a new album coming out later on this year, which I cannot wait to hear. Jacoby sounds amazing. He's not. He's still as perfect as he was 20 years ago. His stage presence and his charisma on stage is incredible. There was a part of the show where he was literally walking in the middle of this mosh pit, walked up to the side part of the arena, found the sign that says "Do not mosh," ripped it up, and threw it into the crowd.
Wow.
So just show.
Oh, I did see that
Yeah,
footage.
I was there.
I saw
I
that.
was there.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Oh,
it
okay, yeah.
was a great show.
And the security guard or the seating or security was only a
They were
couple
right
of
behind him, making sure he was safe because
feet.
he's right
Yeah,
in the middle of the crowd. It was absolutely
yeah, yeah.
fantastic, and
I didn't realize that was
that
in
was in Sydney. That
Sydney.
was Sydney, yeah.
Well, there you go.
So I had
Well, there you
such
go.
a fun time. It was great. Landmarks were great. I actually haven't heard much about. I've never heard of them before. They were a French band from Paris, and a day to
Mm-hmm.
remember. I've known
Oui,
for
oui.
a little while, but I was there to see Papa Roach, and they did not disappoint. So I just want to give them my 2 cents. Great concert. If you have a chance to see Papa Roach live, please go and see them. They are absolutely brilliant. I know everyone probably knows for their hit songs like "Scars" and "Gravity," and a new song. Their song that they did for mental health, called Light Me Up." I think it's called, from memory. I think, where is it? It's going to bug the hell out of me now. Just give me one moment. I've got it on. Wait.
And you are wearing a Papa Roach T-shirt as
Yeah, for
well.
our visual audio listeners, I am actually wearing a Papa Roach shirt on right now. So "Leave a Light On." So is their song that they did, which all the lyrics are about mental health and about leaving a light on for you. You're never alone, kind of thing. And they dedicate a lot of most of the proceeds of their show onto a mental health organization to help with that, to push it forward, because they're such a big
Oh, nice.
person. So I wanted to just bring that up on our podcast. It's a bit different, not going into concerts.
That's a
It's a
review.
review.
That's a
So I thought
review.
it was
So.
fantastic. I thought Papa Roach was a standout. I did enjoy A Day to Remember. They did a good show, but Papa Roach was a highlight for me. So I thought, before we go into Entertainment Honourable Mentions, I wanted to mention a concert. So great. All right,
Cool.
let's bring
Well, thank
on
you, Reece.
Entertainment Honourable
Hold on. I got to
Mentions.
wrap up that segment,
Oh,
so I
please.
got to
The
go.
lovely voice of Matt Man.
Off the top, off the top. That segment again was off the top. All right.
Download that
Bring
song on
on your
iTunes
honorable
now.
mentions.
All
Yes.
right, so
Please, I need the money.
I want to go to a couple of things here. So the first thing is called what's when it comes to Timothy Chalamet, a lot of people know
Timothy
Chalamet.
Yes.
Chalamet.
Adam Sandler.
He is very versatile. He can do a lot of things, and this is the guy who does Dune. He started off in Little Women. He's done A Complete Unknown. He's done Mighty Supreme, and then he did a little film with the director of Paddington called Wonka. I saw Wonka when I was in Finland with my beautiful wife, and we absolutely loved it. The atmosphere, the tone, the kind-heartedness that the director of Paddington brings to his films was all through Wonka. If you have not seen the Paddington movies, you are missing out on some of the most heartfelt, beautiful films ever made. They absolutely are beautiful films to watch. I love them. Even though the third one wasn't that great, I still enjoyed it. But Paddington 1 and 2 are great. And Wonka was absolutely a surprise for me. I didn't expect it to be that good. And I walked out singing and bubbling and my heart full. And not just full of chocolate, but full of joy and love, which is fantastic. So there was speculation that they were going to follow up that one because it was a success, and it has now been officially confirmed. Wonka 2 is in development and coming. So Wonka 2 is happening. This is according to Word of Real. Wonka 2 is happening, but we already kind of knew that. Back in November 2024, director Paul King had confirmed that a sequel is indeed in development and that the script was about half written already. Pretty much saying that they are Timothy Chalamet will return. And last year, Warner Brothers had a placeholder on its calendar, untitled WA Family sequel, dated for December 17th, 2027. That might have been Wonka 2. Since then, they announced any Circus Hunt for Gold is as releasing on that date. But they are saying that it is officially coming, and it looks like they're going to be ramping up pretty much principal photography very short. So pretty much they're saying that indicating the sequel might starting production this coming August. So Timothy Chalamet is hot off the heels of Mighty Supreme. He's now about to start he'll probably be right in the midst of filming this while he's then going to be on the campaign trail for June Part 3. But I like this news. If they can capture half of the essence that if that the first one did, I am going to love it. If Paul King is coming back for it, that it already gives me the confidence that this is going to be great because he was did Paddington 1 and 2 and he delivered on them. So I have all the faith in the world that this one's going to succeed, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with this one. So when it comes to Wonka, firstly, Matt, have you seen it? And if you're not, and if so, what did you think of it? And what do you think about the news about us getting a sequel?
I haven't seen Wonka, but I have seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, as well as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So it is the Tim Burton one.
much,
It's
much to be
okay,
desired.
but I was brought up with the classic
Gene
Willy
Wilder
Wonka.
is a
So
legend. Willy Wonka is always going to be Gene Wilder.
yeah, exactly. So and I Wonka just passed me by. I just didn't have an interest in it.
Well,
But
I have
I'm so
I have a
glad that it's
proposition for you, my man.
no,
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 but what
no,
did we
no.
announce last week on this podcast? What did we announce?
That we're going to do anniversary specials and everything else.
Well, anniversaries, yes, but we're going to delve into the appreciation of musicals. Wonka is a
Yeah,
musical.
that's.
I think
Why didn't I agree to this?
too late. I'll put you in Pandora's box. You cannot get out. So, but don't worry, it's going to be some time. You've got until next year, so we've got some time to revisit Wonka, and you might be surprised how uplifting it might make you feel.
Help me, people. Help me.
Help me get him to watch something that's beautiful.
No. No.
No. Everyone,
Okay,
insert
can
the
you-
gift of
Yeah.
Darth Vader. So I just wanted to bring that to light. I thought the first one was great. I cannot wait to see what happens in the second one. And if Paul King is coming back, I have all the faith in the world. So that is our first topic, Wonka of 2. Going on to the next one, we actually talked about last week about Dexter and about the casting of for Resurrection.
Yeah, you got me fired
Resurrection
up.
Part 2, and we kind of hinted about the first season. Because when you talked about Resurrection Part Season 1, you talked about how great Peter Dinklage was, I mean the villain. And Peter Dinklage is back in the news again. He's actually been cast in the upcoming Season 2 of Alien Earth. So he's delving back into genre. He's did Game of Thrones. He's done Dexter. Now he's done Hunger Games. Now he's doing Alien Earth, and this is coming from Deadline. So we had the first major casting addition to FX Alien Earth for its upcoming second season. Emmy winner Peter Dinklage has been tapped as a new series regular on the sci-fi drama from Fargo creator Noah Hawley. No information about Dinklage's character is being revealed. This marks Game of Thrones alum's return to FX, where he had a major recurring role on Nip Tuck and recently guest starred on season 1 of The Lowdown. Pretty much it tells you about the series of Alien Earth is, which everyone kind of knows about. Production of season 2 is expected to begin in May at London's Pinewood Studios, home to the original 1979 movie, Alien 3, and the prequel Prometheus, after season 1 was filmed in Thailand. Okay, so pretty much goes through that. So I thought that was a great sense of news because I love my genre as I think you do too, Maddie. And I grew up watching Alien and Predator and all that kind of stuff. So I had a big love for the Alien franchise. I thought it was great, even though some of the films weren't that fantastic. The scope of what Alien is and the exploration of the creature of the xenomorph has always been interesting as well. So I was intrigued when they said they were going to make a prequel series in a way to Alien Earth to kind of fit into the timeline that leads straight up into Alien. So I was surprised how well. I didn't really rave about the finale, but I thought the overall series was actually very well made and done. And it definitely had the vibes of Aliens with a lot of horror undertones and with a little bit of action there as well. So I thought it was great. So the fact that they've got in on this legend in the pretty much Peter Dinklage joining the cast of Unknown Role, I thought is very intriguing. Like we talked about last week with Brian Cox been doing for Resurrection, it is never a bad idea to hire great talent for a role like this. And the fact that you've got an IP like this, that's going to be have a lot of eyes on it. I'm really intrigued now to see what they do with this. I thought it was a great sense of casting. With the cast, they've already got a great ensemble already for that Alien Earth series, and to put in Peter Dinklage into that mix of that. Um, I don't know if he's going to play a protagonist or antagonist. I'm really hoping that we can do make him a bit of a villain because I didn't get to see. I didn't watch I didn't watch Dexter Resurrection, and so I haven't really been able to explore what Dinklage can do as a villain. We got to see a little bit of that when we watched X Men: Days of Futures Past, but I didn't think that was like a really flushed out villain, even if it's one of the best comic book movies ever made. I wanted to see a bit more of a darker tone of a villain. And I think Peter Dinklage has the capabilities to do that. So I'm really intrigued to see what he can bring to a role within the universe of Alien. So, what's your thought process on this news? And have you watched Alien season one?
I'm gonna just put my recording or my soundbite on loop. No, I haven't yet, but it is bookmarked on my watch list for Disney Plus because after you had suggested it in a previous
Yep.
episode, and it looks like that's right up my alley of shows to
Yeah,
watch.
I thought so too.
But yeah, so but the fact that Peter Dinklage is joining, he's a very reputable and just a just a fantastic actor, great
Yeah.
performance, and he was extremely impressive in Dexter Resurrection,
So
and
tell me a bit about
yeah,
that. So tell me about when he was in Resurrection. I know he wasn't in like all the series, but how was his character in it, and how was his performance in that?
his character was a bit pompous, but not overly. Like he lived a pompous lifestyle, so he was mega
Okay.
rich, and so it was more or less the his character being one side he's a serious business person and a goodness gracious, the philanthropist.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, and you don't, it was always doing stuff for charity and all that. But on the darker, deeper side, he collected everything serial killer esque. So, and every year he would get a gathering together of the most notorious serial killers for a lunch and dinner type thing because he was struck by tragedy as a young child, and so that's always tormented him, and he's always had a fascination. He would never do it himself, but he was just he lived vicariously through the serial killer. So he always craved um, stories, the horror stories and stuff, and yeah. So he played two.
Two sides,
He played
two
the one
sides of one of
character.
the same, two sides of the one coin.
Yeah, exactly. So which was
Oh, okay.
fantastic.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
some great reviews about his performance. Everyone raved about like everyone said how great Resurrection season one was, but they raved about his performance, which like, well, if he was playing a villain in the Dexter universe and people are raving about that, then this has got me intrigued about Alien Earth. So that's fantastic.
Yep.
Alrighty, well, going into one of my last ones, I was going to talk about a story that jumped released today about the Rookie. Do you know much? Do you know the series The Rookie?
I don't watch it, but I am
Yeah.
aware of it with
Yeah.
Nathan
Well,
Fillion. Yeah.
that got renewed for a brand new season, season nine. So that's phew, love it.
Wow.
It's a cop drama that I find that my wife finally watches, which is fantastic. They're really dime a dozen. Like they're very much cop dramas are like medical dramas and things like that, where they're very very repetitive. Which is really hard to find a good drama like that that actually you would like. And the Rookie's one of them. It's fantastic. But what I wanted to talk about is something that I'm a bit more personal about and that is an upcoming biopic, which is on my anticipated films of the year list. I think it's on number 3 or number 2 on my top list, which is Michael. It just had its Berlin premiere, and the first reactions are out now. Um, the embargo is still in place until the 21st, I think, or 20th. But this is just the initial first reaction. So I just wanted to go. This is all from Joe Blow, and I just wanted to go through a couple of these first reactions just to get us a sense of what the initial reactions are for the Michael movie. Now, this is the film being directed by Antoine Fuqua, who gave us Training Day, and so I have a lot of expectation for this film. This also has Jafar Jackson playing the Michael Jackson, and Common Domingo playing Joe Jackson. So this is from Liam as the reaction. So Michael movie is why we go to the movies. Thriller, Beat It, etc. Recreated to perfection. Genuinely couldn't resist a head bump and finger tap at any moment. Makes you smile where it wants to, wince where it needs to. Coleman is your earliest supporting actor candidate. This is from Junior Felix. Michael movie is one of the best music biopics I've ever seen. Jafar Jackson is dazzling and mesmerizing and truly embodies Michael Jackson. Colin Domingo is spectacular and shows why he's one of the greats. Incredible musical sequences and performances make this a much watch. From Hunter Balding, Michael features two absolutely smashing performances. Jafar Jackson is electric in his role, while Colin Domingo is monstrous as Joe Jackson. The ending leaves a bit to be desired, but the journey there is fascinating and fitting of the greatest entertainer of our time. Eric Davis, Jafar Jackson delivers a truly remarkable performance in Michael, embodying the spirit, the ambition, and the physicality of Michael Jackson in a way that's dazzling to watch. The kid is so good, and longtime fans will adore this film. Um,
So you look,
yeah, it's pretty much got.
So got positive reviews. I'm looking forward to your feedback or your review.
That is just a glimpse of what is going on out of Berlin at the premiere. And so I don't know if this film can get any higher on my expectations, but
well, Prince and Blanket were there on the red carpet.
I've heard some commentary from his daughter online where she's been supportive up until a point for the film as well, but at the same time, we can do what we can do. But I don't know how much more excited I can get, but at the same time, I am also nervous because my expectations are so high, I don't want to be so disappointed. Michael Jackson is my favorite entertainer. I love Michael Jackson and his pretty much him as an entertainer and his music ever since I was a kid. And anyone who knows me, who has gotten to know me, has kind of stipulated that when they think of Michael Jackson, they kind of think of me because I constantly play his music. Whenever I have his music on, I dance. Whenever we have a function like a wedding or anything like that, and someone puts on Michael Jackson, who do they always kind of turn? They always kind of turn to me to get me up on the dance floor because he is the one artist that will always get me up on the dance floor. So my expectations are high, and reading these reviews I don't know if it has made my expectations a little bit higher, if that was even possible. So I'm really happy to hear these reviews are coming out, but these are subject to everyone's personal preference. So what these people might think is the best musical biopic ever, I might think that it's maybe something completely different. And I might not like the way they directed it, why it's paced, maybe the editing or the musical performances or the acting. So I don't know. So I am going to do my absolute best to walk into this movie with an open mind, leave my thoughts at the door, which we all should do, and take on what Jafar and Anton Fuqua has delivered to us. So I loving these reviews, but I'm also skeptical because now my expectations are so high. I don't want to be disappointed. Please don't disappoint me. But I have been hearing some thoughts and some points out there saying that there is potentiality of a part 2 if this movie does well, which I would be so open for because from what I hear, this movie goes up to the point where he releases the bad album up to that point at least. It doesn't actually go into the point where they go into the album of bad, but they might just go up to the point where he releases a single of bad and up to that concert, and then they leave it at that. So there is a completely different the next chapter of his life that they can carry. They cover between of bad, dangerous, invincible, going to leading into that last concert he did. He was planning, "Oh, this is it," before he unfortunately passed away. So there is definitely narrative there to make a part two. Whether they do that, I would think it would come down to how well this one does. There's a lot of people out there thinking that this film is going to be the highest grossing musical biopic ever made, which I have no, I that does not surprise me because he is the still the king of pop and he is still being listened to this day, earning millions.
I don't think it'll be like be the highest. I don't think it'll be able to top Queen,
So you think
but
that it won't?
it'll be up there. It'll be a hit, but it won't be like it won't break. Yeah, it won't be the number one of all time.
So you think that it won't beat what Bohemian Rhapsody made at the box office? You don't think Michael would beat that?
No.
Okay. Now you've got my intrigue. I'm going to bring up Box Office Mojo, and I'm going to type in Bohemian Rhapsody.
You know why? You know why? And I hate to bring it up because the controversy behind Michael is always going
which could work in
to.
its favor.
It could, but there's always going to be the ones who have already
made up their minds.
They've made up their minds, and yeah, so that's the only thing which he's going to be burned for no matter what.
I seem to disagree. I think this film is going to do extremely well. And for context, Bohemian Rhapsody made 910 million at the end of its run.
I think Michael will make about 700.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I think Michael has the potential of reading. I think, me personally, and I'm trying not to bring across my bias, but if this movie is as fantastic as its reviews are saying, and what everybody thinks it's going to be, I think I can see us getting the first musical biopic to reach $1 billion.
Okay.
Me personally, I just think so. You hear it here, folks. You think that man here you think 710?
It'll be a hit. It'll be a box office hit, but it won't beat Bohemian.
Okay. Well, I am so looking forward to seeing after this theatrical run, we can come back and kind of think of like, well, let's see who was right. Did it reach $1 billion, or did it do very well, break even, but did it go and did it not beat? So I think Bohemian Rhapsody is going to be the benchmark. Did it beat it, or did it underperform underneath it? So we're going to come back and we'll have a chin wag about that when it has to finish its theatrical run, which, if it's as fantastic as it sounds, I could see myself watching this movie a couple of times at the movies, and I don't care of the eye rolls I'll get from certain people out there. Everyone who knows about Michael Jackson, how much I'm a big fan of his music. So if this movie is as great as you think it is, I'll be seeing it more than once.
Cool. All right. Well, that concludes
Entertainment Honourable Mentions. And we're going down. Okay. Now let's bring things back up and do some reviews.
Yes.
Wow.
Can I launch one? Because
I was so excited when I jumped on Letterboxd and I was doing some reviews and I saw that you watched a film, and this is a new movie on this podcast that I was planning to go and see and haven't had a chance to see. So Matthew is going to be reviewing a brand new release that I haven't seen, which is the first to this podcast, and I'm absolutely loving it. And so, Matthew, you went and saw The Drama. What did you think?
Hold on, I got to get the projector turned on.
Bring on the projector and bring on The Drama.
I got to build up the drama for The Drama.
Tell me what you thought.
Now, okay, The Drama.
Actually,
originally,
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I hate people doing this to me when they cut me off. I do apologize. I do not want to do that, but I think because this film doesn't have as much of a theatrical awareness to everybody else, I just want to at least provide the Letterboxd synopsis and then lead you into it. Would you be okay with that? Okay.
Go ahead.
So The Drama, this is directed by Christopher Borghilli, and it stars Robert Pattinson and the beautiful Zendaya. I'm in love with Zendaya lately. I just everything that she's doing with everything. So, witness the wedding of the year. A happily engaged couple is put to the test when an unexpected turn sends their wedding week off the rails. Very quick synopsis. So, did the wedding go off the rails, Matthew? And what was all the drama about?
Okay, I'm going to count down that They may be minor spoilers, so I do apologize because I don't know how to filter myself
Just
properly.
don't give away.
Okay?
I hear there's a twist in the ending. Do not give away the twist because I have it.
Okay,
I'm
I'm not
still
going to give
planning on
away
watching this
twists.
movie, so
Okay,
please don't give away too
I'm
much.
just apologizing in advance for if I slip up on anything. So that's all I'm doing. Okay. It's not intentional because I don't like giving out spoilers or
Now we
whatever
don't do
unless
spoilers for
you
movies on
ask me
this
to.
podcast, so
Okay, I wasn't planning on watching this. It wasn't until I was catching up with a friend for dinner and she had mentioned, I want to watch this movie. And it's like, all right, let's go and watch it. So we went to the local cinema and at first the intro, like it was a slow burn at the start. Even both of us were losing interest.
okay.
We were just going, oh, okay. And then
First act
bam,
is slow.
the first act is very the way that it's been edited, like it's a bit jumpy, a bit all over the place. Think Family Guy cuts, like
Very quick.
there'll be, well, it'll be just like say it'll be mentioning one thing, and then it'll either be you can't tell if something's a dream sequence or a flashback.
Oh, wow.
So, like a what if type thing, okay? But it is a lead up to the marriage. Like I'm going to just use you know what, actually just give me 1 second because I believe the characters names are Emma is Zendaya and I've forgotten Robert Pattinson's
Okay, I've got it
character's
here.
name.
1 second. I'll bring up Letterboxd. You've got Zendaya is Emma and Robert Pattinson is Charlie.
Charlie, that's it. Okay, so Charlie and Emma, they're in the early stages of organizing the wedding. So they go through the processes, you know, like the typical cliche wedding. Everything is proper. Like it's a drama with a bit of comedy in it. So you think, oh, romantic drama type thing, and then it gets to the part where they're testing out and deciding upon what food, what drink, and all that. Like with the best man and the bridesmaid, um, you know, or the maid of honor, I should say. And you know, and then they're just sitting around having a discussion. So you know, like with the wine and everything else. So they're basically getting drunk, taking advantage of all the taste testing, and then they do ask the question, you know, what's the worst thing you've ever done?
That is not a spoiler because I see that's in the trailer.
And yeah. What's in the trailer, and then so they're all saying their
Reveals.
bits, and then when it gets to Emma, Emma lets out what her
Secret is.
worst thing, her secret, and
Takes everybody by surprise.
it does. Like even I'm just gone, oh, yeah, that's. It's not shocking, but
Surprising.
it is surprising, and it does make you think.
Okay.
So, and then I'm going, you know what? That really hasn't been covered in any type of movie. So it's kind of feels refreshing because they're talking about that
A certain topic.
this certain thing, a certain topic, which is very taboo, but it is also, unfortunately, quite modern. So, like in the last 30 years or so. So, okay, that's all I'm saying.
That's not a spoiler. You didn't give anything away. That's fine. No. You're going good.
And then but because of the way it comes across, you know, and then the maid of honor is just like shocked, and well, everyone's shocked, and then it just starts going downhill from there because it's like they don't know whether to take her seriously or not for what she said, and then as the wedding's being planned, Charlie's getting paranoid, and you know what you know when things start when things are pointed out, you become like, say you don't notice any red cars, and then once you buy a red car, everywhere. You start seeing red cars and stuff. Ever since that, like the thing that she said, Charlie starts noticing it in the day-to-day life and thinking, oh, this thing might trigger her, or you know whatever. So, and then it is like the paranoia starts kicking in, and then on both sides. So because it's like goes back and forth, and it just keeps going on, and they're trying to live their everyday life with knowing in the back of their mind that this has happened, and things, you know, there's cracks, and they're holding it together, and it gets really awkward, and it's very anxiety driven and ridden.
So it's one of those times where you can't watch, but you can't help but watch it.
Yeah. And when I saw it, there were people were reacting in the cinema, going, "Oh," or like
Yeah.
shock. But it's a great combination of drama and comedy and romance at the same time. But also, when it comes to the topic, then it's like, oh, I don't know whether I should be laughing at that or not. So
So tell
it's
me,
because it's a serious secret that she
yeah,
has, and yeah, but like they try to do it so it's a really serious topic, but then they also try to make fun of it at the same time, and you just go, I don't know whether I should be giggling, or they should make a joke, but then again, they're trying to move on with life type things. So, and that's really hard to
yeah,
describe without ruining what the thing is. So, great performances, even Robert Patterson is basically like an very awkward, like he's channeled Hugh Grant
right,
in this movie.
okay.
So that very awkward, nervous and stuttery and kind of, that Four Weddings
He's
and a Funeral
he's very
type
good at
vibe, or
doing that.
yeah. So it was like that. He was channeling his Robert Patterson. Robert Patterson was channeling his very awkward and nervous Hugh
Yeah,
Grant, and then yeah, Zendaya being Emma, just trying to continue on with life, and like you can see the visual strain, and then it can be quite relatable because it's certain relationship situations that happen. And going, you know what? It's that to me, they're like they've made it relatable as well. So if you've had any issues in your own personal relationships, you just go, okay, it's not just
yeah.
me. So
Do you
it
realize
kind of
that
wakes you up to that.
Zendaya and Robert Pattinson have 3 films together coming out this year?
Ah, it
The
doesn't
Drama,
surprise me, but the
The
chemistry between them
Odyssey,
are good.
and
Yeah.
June Part 3.
Well, there you go. So, but the chemistry is great. So all I can think of is Tom Holland. Watch it. Watch yourself.
He's got
So,
nothing to worry about. But tell me
I
something
know.
before you kind of give me your final thoughts on it. Without going into too much detail,
Yep.
how do they bring in the MA rating?
It's a very taboo topic.
Expand.
It's the secret, I should say. The secret is very taboo. It's very controversial.
So it's MA due to its themes, or is it explicit content?
Themes, and there's no nudity. There are a couple of sex scenes, yeah, sexual references and stuff where there is a moment where like there are a couple of sex scenes, but it's all basically clothes on and you don't really see much. But I guess it would be the topic that the secret is about, because it is very sensitive.
Okay, so it's MA because of the themes.
And they do cover that. They do cover that as well, because one of the maid of honor is affected by the secret, so is connected part of
Okay.
it. So, then it all comes up to all the processes of build up to the wedding and so forth, and it's just what was confusing me originally was like the random cutaways or like the throwbacks, and then you can't tell whether it was a dream sequence or like a visualization of, oh, this is what would have happened normally. And
Yeah.
sometimes it can be a bit confusing. That's but overall, like when the movie finished, I'm just going, actually, that was a pretty good movie. So I liked it. I just didn't. I was triggered my anxiety.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it was quite stressful, but it was the whole idea. And I think it was meant to make you feel awkward. So because the whole premise is that because the secret's out, everything is awkward.
Yep.
So it's just an awkward drama, comedy, romance, and it's done really well. And I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Wow. Okay. Pretty good.
The half, it would have been 4, but because I lost half a star because the setup of
The
it,
first act.
I did lose a
The
bit of
first act
interest in
was
it.
a
Yeah.
very slow drag. Yeah.
But when I reflect on it, they needed to do that to kind of set up the way that style of the movie.
Okay.
But it wasn't the strong suit, because like my friend and I were actually going, oh, this is a bit boring, and I was thinking about leaving at one stage.
Wow.
But
But you keep, but just
yeah, I held out, and it's like, okay, cool. There's the twist. So
okay. So wait. So the
yeah,
whole other thing is soldier through the first act, wait for the twist, and it picks up from there.
yeah. Just as you're about to lose interest, bam, it
Right.
happens.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for that. That's awesome. So it's give.
you'll love it. You'll love it. I reckon you'll give it about at least a 4.5,
Wow, you think I'll do it that high? Okay.
or at least a 4. You'll give it a 4 at
Okay.
least.
Well, that's high regard. Don't know if I have a chance to get out and see it on theatrical. Because I don't know because I've got some big tentpole films coming out soon, so which will trump going to see the drama. So it might be one of those things I will sit down and watch when it comes out in streaming. But I'll definitely.
I'd say watch it with someone,
Knowing
because
my beautiful wife,
it'll make you talk. It will make you talk,
thought-provoking.
discuss the topic at
So it's
hand.
thought provoking.
Yeah, it's yes, indeed, because the topic or the secret is, I can't say it. I can't. Oh, I'm not going to tell you.
Please don't.
But there have been. It's
It's a
quite
scenario
real.
that is very very relevant to today's society.
Yeah, sadly.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I had a chance. When it comes out in streaming, I will sit down and watch it. Thank you for that recommendation.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So
Took one
we're
for the
going
team.
to take the tone of the drama, and we're going to finish off this podcast with a kind of uplifting review of a TV show.
All right, hold on.
Now,
I know it's a film thing, and you're talking about TV, but it all is the same
I
to
know.
me.
I appreciate it, mate. I appreciate that. So I was kind of thinking about this in a little while, and there's a lot of TV shows that are airing at the moment. I watch a lot of TV shows and things like that. So I've got a whole bunch of listing of shows that I watch. And when I come back to it, and the shows that are still airing today, that are still producing new seasons and new TV, I think when it comes, I think you have a great show where I think that one of the first things is you itch for the next episode. When the episode's over, you cannot wait to go back and watch another episode.
The hook, the
That's
cliffhanger.
not a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It's just not. It has to be a cliffhanger, but it comes down to like the characters and how it's produced and all this other stuff. And
Mate, that's how it is with me in Scrubs.
yeah, so an episode finishes and you're going, oh come on, I just want to watch the next episode. I just want to be with these characters again. I just want to be in this world. And with that being said, I think if it's not my favorite show that's airing right now, it's probably in my top 3 right now. And
Okay.
I'm also talking about Shrinking on Apple TV Plus.
Okay, yeah, Bill Lawrence.
Yeah.
Bill Lawrence, who does produce, or Scrubs,
and Ted Lasso, and he does Shrinking. Now, I've loved this show since the first episode. Since the first couple of episodes I watched in season 1, I've been hooked on it every single year. I love it, and I totally agree with what people are saying. Harrison Ford has not been this good in years. Like he's done some great performances over the years, but he has not been this fantastic in years. I think it's a shame he's not been getting Emmy. He has been getting award for his Emmy for this performance he's done, especially in the later episodes of each season. He provides a great performance, and this season did not disappoint. The introduction. Now, can I ask, have you seen Shrinking?
I've seen a few episodes of the first season.
So you know the premise.
Yeah, I know the premise. Yeah, and I keep across it all because I know that Kobe Smulders has been in it too. So there's been like a mini How I Met Your Mother reunion, and like I'm just across it all because when I don't watch, I read stuff on the AV Club's website.
Yeah, so pretty much to our audience, if you have not seen Shrinking or haven't watched Shrinking, what are you doing? Please, if you take anything from these 38 episodes you've listened to our awesome or boring voices, please watch Shrinking. It is the series. It's a fantastic written show, performed show, directed show, and it's the one of the few shows you can get where it can make you laugh out loud in one scene, then straight away with the next scene make you emotional and make you care, and it's so deeply heart-provoking, and it's such a fantastic written show, which some can say the same thing for Ted Lasso. And if people who are not too sure about the show, it's pretty much based around Jason Segel's character Jimmy. He is a therapist, but he's going through grief after about where the series starts is a year on after losing his wife, and it's him
Yeah.
about,
So I
and
know
it's pretty
that.
much
Yeah.
the stages of him trying to deal with that. And each season deals with something differently. So it's the first season's about dealing with the grief, then it's about trying to accept the grief in the second season, and the third season is about accepting and moving on. It's such well written, and this season was fantastic. The fact that the got Harrison Ford's character is he's been diagnosed with Parkinson's, and you can see in this season that Harrison Ford has just done such a fantastic performance of showing not just it's because Parkinson. Everyone thinks Parkinson is just the shaking of the hands, things like that. It's also about the eyes and the mentality and things like that. And the fact that they brought in Michael J. Fox out of retirement per se to play a character in this season. He's not in a lot. Like he's in one or two, I think 1 or 2 or 3 episodes with not a lot of scenes, but they are great scenes to behold with him and Harrison Ford, both legends in their own right. Bringing in Kobe Smulders as a love interest for Jimmy, yes, like you said, at the How I Met Your Mother reunion. I saw that happening and I went, it's Marshall and Robin on screen together. Yay!
Yeah.
Um, I just love all these characters in this show. I think everyone needs to have a Derek in their life. Like Derek is like the unsung hero of this show. He makes me laugh so much. What the writers get him to perform is so witty and so brilliant, and he has got a good heartfelt storyline this season as well, which also shows a great different side to his beautiful the actress who plays his wife as well, in Liz as well. I think Liz is in Scrubs as well. The
Yes.
Christina Miller.
Yes.
Yeah, she's in
Yes.
Scrubs as well. Yeah, so she is fantastic in this series, and you get to see a kind of a different, softer side of her this season, with her relationship with Derek, and then you also get to see each character has done such a fantastic job with the writing, and they're being able to provide them all the screen time they need. Each one has their own developments, which is what you want. They all have start with at one point, and they have a different point. I think Gabby, Jessica Williams' character, Gabby, she has a great storyline this season. I'm going to go into a little bit of spoiler territory, but the season has been over for over a week now. So if you haven't watched it, then yeah. But the first season is about the loss of Jimmy's wife, and we find out at the end of the season of season one where that um, the person who's responsible for the death comes back into their lives. And Gabby in this season can't deal with that, and she makes him aware of it. And it's such a powerful scene that she has against him, and it's played by Brett Goldstein, who's also one of the co-writers of the show. He also co-wrote and also helps run Ted Lasso as well. He's a fantastic comedian, a great writer as well, and I can't I think you can tell I'm really loving this show. Like, I cannot talk about this show enough, and I thought it was fantastic. There's a clip online where you see Harrison Ford walk into an office for the season. And then he goes, "The GOAT is back." And I was watching a panel he did recently. I think it's at the Paley Fest panel that he did with all the cast. They showed the finale of season 3, and they did a Q&A with the cast of Shrinking. And they pretty much brought that up, the fact that he walks into the room and he goes, dun, 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 the GOAT is back. He was unaware he did that. He had no idea, because that is so better within him. He said he tells a story about when he went in for his colonoscopy that the surgeons were playing the Indiana Jones theme when they were wheeling him into the operating room.
Yeah, second
And
nature to
so
him.
he told that story when he was doing the tribute to John Williams, and he walks out on stage because they played a theme of Indiana Jones, and he goes, "The fucking music follows me everywhere. It plays when I go into a room, it walks out of a room. It's worse than that." it was playing in the operating room when I went in for my colonoscopy. And so it just follows him everywhere. And so it was just the fact that he was unbeknown that he was humming that tune when he walked into that scene. I went, that is just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And so I just thought it was fantastic. And I can't talk about the finale. I can't talk about the series without talking about the finale. There's a certain scene that got me. I got a little bit emotional. Like you've got this part where Jimmy is having to learn to accept that life happens. Like you've got, and the fact that you've got this scene between Harrison Ford and Jason Segel, and it's so moving, so powerful, and it's pretty much stating that you're 45 years old and you need to accept that things are changing. You got to move on. You got to accept your scars are part of you, and you need to move on from them. They are part of you, but you cannot control. You got to let them go and move on. Your loved one is always going to be there, but you've got to move on and let the past go. And we go, and then he was just going, I'm covered in scars. I can't. How am I? He goes, that's great. How lucky are you to be 45 years old and be covered in scars, showing that you've lived a life. It's so powerful.
Yeah.
And him confessing at that moment that he has always thought about him as a son, which is all Jimmy wanted. He looks up to Paul as a father figure. And the fact that he was able to provide that to him, saying that you are a son to me and I love you. And as long as I am here, I will be there for you. And
Sounds like a JD and Dr.
I was
Cox.
so heartfeltly moved. I was getting a little bit emotional watching that scene. It was so well done, and it's a scene like that, and the scene that Harrison Ford did at the finale of season 2 that tells me that he is brilliant in this show, and the fact that he doesn't have an Emmy is beyond me. Like he deserves one for this series, and he's the best he's ever been. So I love this show so much. If you have not watched this show, please, I'm a beating drum. Please watch it. I cannot believe you've got like 3 episodes in, you haven't stuck with it. I'm going, what is wrong with you? You need to get back on the horse. But I can't
Nice.
talk about the show enough. But
Cool.
I know I spoiled.
Yes, I will be watching it. I will be watching it. It's on my list.
I know, but I probably spoiled a couple of things, but it doesn't really it doesn't take away from the impact that it has and what you'll be able to get out of it, because when you have some fresh eyes and how the scenarios play out in the narrative of the show. So I cannot talk about the series enough.
That's all right. I'll spoil something for you right now too.
What's that?
So, yeah. Well, Emma's secret in the drama is.
He's funny. We got a comedian, ladies and gentlemen. We got a comedian. So I just wanted to talk about the shrinking. I could talk about that for an hour and love it absolutely. But please, Matthew, the 100 or so titles of listings of films and TV shows I've asked you to watch, I would say Shrinking is up the top. And the good thing about it, it's only, I think, 10 to 12 episodes, and each episode would only, after the first episode, they only go for about 35 minutes. So they're very much that kind of style, but fantastic. Please watch it. I would sit down and, it's one of those things, if I get to a point where I'm feeling down, kind of thing, I could put on, rewatch the series again. It is that much rewatchable. It's fantastic. So anyone out there, please go ahead and have my service announcement done. It's been done. I've been done for death. I apologize. But we're going to wrap up this episode with us of the service announcements of my geek culture. That is Shrinking.
Cool.
Is
Hold on.
awesome.
Yay. Cool.
Bing on the bass. Bing on the bass. This is my last resort. Suffocation. Sorry. Bring it in, Papa Roach there.
Is that Papa Roach?
My last resort.
Yeah, I know that song then.
And goes, scars will find me.
For some reason, I keep thinking, oh no, it's a different band. Let the bodies.
Drowning Pool. That's Drowning Pool.
Yeah. My last, into pieces. So, this is my last resort.
Thank you so much for everyone to watching listening to this episode today. We've gone through a hell of a lot, which is awesome. Wish you all the very best for the week ahead or whenever it's going to be. And I want to wish you all the positive thoughts and vibes. I'm going to be pushing them all out to you. I'm going to be doing a Jimmy from season 3. I'm going to push all the good vibes out your way, all the good vibes. If you've seen season 3,
Cool.
you'll get that reference. But all the love out to you all. And as always, my friends and family out there, keep being amazing, keep being awesome, and may the force be with you.
Yes. This has been Reese's Reviews for mygeekculture.com.au, produced by Matt Fulton Productions, mattfulton.com.au, and may the
Gadoosh. Listen to Papa Roach.